Proportions really aren't too terrible. All a proportion is a pair of equal ratios. In simpler terms, it's just two equal fractions. Typically it will look like this. You have a fraction on the left side, an equal sign, and a fraction on the right side. For example, I know that 1/2 is the exact same thing as 2/4. That's a proportion. That's all there is to it. The problem comes when we decide that we want to solve a proportion. We'll typically be given 3 numbers in the proportion out of the 4 and have to find a fourth one. For instance, I may have 1/2 equals x over 6. Now there's a couple of different ways to solve this. One, I can kind of look at this and say, well, 1/2, that's the same thing as 3/6. I already know that. The easiest way, though, is to do what we call cross multiply and divide. And we do it this way. Pull the screen back up a little bit. There we go. We're going to look at the two numbers that are diagonal from each other, that are real numbers, 1 and 6. If I looked the other way, this way, I've got a number and a letter, and I don't want to deal with that yet. We're going to deal with just the two numbers that we recognize, and all we're going to do is multiply them. 6 times 1. And I hope we all know that's equal to 6. And then the last step, like I said, pretty easy. You take the other number, the third number that you haven't used yet, and you take your answer you had before, and you divide it by that third number. Wow, let's see if I can get the right number. There we go. I hope we all know 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now we know, using cross-multiplying and dividing, x equals 3. That's it. You multiply the two numbers you know, divide by that third one you haven't used yet. Okay? Let's try another example. Let's say we have 3 over 10 equals, I don't know, let's say 7 over x. Okay? It can be any letter. Typically we use x, though. It's just the easiest one. Everybody uses it. Alright? Same process as before. I look for the two numbers that are diagonally from each other that don't involve a letter. In this case, that's the 10 and the 7. So I'm going to take 10 times 7, and I get 70. And then I look for that third number, the 3. I hadn't used that one yet. Take 70 divided by 3, and what do I get? That's right, I get 23.3. Or you could say this is 23 and a third, or 23.3 with the little repeating sign. Any of those three answers would be plenty acceptable. So that's what x is equal to. That's it. Okay? Let me give you a couple examples, and after I write them out, you go ahead and push pause and try them out on your own, okay? So we have 7 over 10 equals n over 23. And I'm going to give you two more. I'll give you 3 total, okay? And then we've got 5 over 7 equals 4 over k. K is a good letter. And your third example problem to try with, we're going to try 10 over x. I know, I put it on the other side, is equal to 7 over 14. So go ahead and try those. See what you get. Push the pause button. Alright, did you try them? You're not cheating, are you? Alright, let's go ahead and work these out. Number 1, I'm going to look at the two numbers I know. 7 and 23, I'm going to multiply those. And I get 161. And then I'm going to divide that by that third number there, divide it by 10. And I get 16.1. Hope you did too. On to number 2. I look for the two numbers that are diagonal, that don't have a letter with them. 7 and 4. 7 times 4 gives me 28. And then I'm going to divide by that third number, so I divide by 5. And that's going to give me 5.6. And number 3, again, diagonally for the two numbers that are there, 10 times 14. And when I take 10 times 14, I get 140. And I divide by that third number, which is 7. And this gives me 20. Now on the third one, you don't necessarily have to go through all that work. You absolutely can. But doing that process will always get you to the answer. But I know some of you can look at that and say, hey, look, 7/14. Well, that's like half, right? 7's half of 14. So 10 is half of what? Oh, look, 10 is half of 20. That's it. Now, the main problem with proportions that most people run into is when you get some word problems. You're not exactly sure how to set them up. And we'll get into those in the next one, which says proportion word problems.